All right, boom, there it is. We are live. We are live. We are live. Appreciate everybody joining us on the live stream. Hope you had a good day so far. Those of you who are dealing with the winter storm, because not everybody that watches is dealing with the winter storm like we're dealing with it here in the good old United States of America. Those of you up there in Chicago, I know y'all dealing with it. Cause y'all, that's the Windy City. Shoot, man. Just give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna check on something real quick. All right, just wanted to check my stream and turn this down a little bit so I can keep up with the comments. But yeah, y'all be safe. Y'all stay warm. Because being warm is a great thing, especially with our homeless population that we have in this country, which is, we're wasting trillions of dollars on war. Literally, Biden is trying to get us into another freaking war. We got money for that, but we ain't got money for the homeless who should not be on the street at all. Or we got money for migrants, but we don't have money for the homeless. So, shout out to the rest of y'all, like I say, in the good old United States of America. And also shout out to our people throughout the globe, our brothers and sisters in the African continent, the Caribbean, our Afro-Latino brothers and sisters that's in, Latin America. Shout out to y'all as well. But while we're waiting for people to come in and we'll get to the meat of what we're doing, I need to speak to my South African brothers and sisters in South Africa. I think I kind of just mentioned this in the wind, and I was mentioning that, it's very imperative that we find someone in South Africa. You must live in South Africa for what I'm about to talk about, preferably Johannesburg or somewhere close to that area, preferably. But we need to get someone in Johannesburg or, somewhere around there. You can be in Pretoria, you can be wherever, but just as long as you got the pulse, right? So we need somebody in South Africa that's on my board for the year. And what we need is basically a person that can cover content. We want to know about, covering the politics of what's going on, covering, the racism that goes on in South Africa, because yes, there's some racism going on in South Africa. And we definitely want you to be on top of that for sure. That's something that's very, very important, because that's got to be exposed, because what I notice about covering South African content at times is not talked about enough, in my opinion. And, some people, be like, I didn't know that, or some people may think, oh, well, it's not with this, it's that. So we wanted to get somebody that's, come from the soil, talk about these issues. Someone that also understands the situation with immigration. Now, we're not asking a person to be on the side of, well, I hate all these people. No, that's not the issue. Because you see, the immigration in South Africa, even though I do agree with them, everybody can't just be coming over there illegally. I get it. I feel the same way. But I'm so conflicted on that in a way, just as a Black American, because when you talk to people from Zimbabwe, which I have in South Africa, because they truly have an issue going on in Zimbabwe. It's not like they're coming just because, because they've been under sanctions so long because of Robert Mugabe decided to take the land back and give it to the people, which, you could talk about his leadership, but he did what, Julius say he wants to do, right? And the Western world attacked Robert Mugabe for that reason, and this brother is gone. He's an ancestor now, and they still holding the sanctions on Zimbabwe, which doesn't make any kind of sense at all. Now, I couldn't be the leader of Zimbabwe because nobody from the Western world, or at least them folks, couldn't come in Zimbabwe at all. They know you can't come here. As long as them sanctions on, you are not coming here, right? So when you got situations like what happens, just my opinion, I'm not South African, just my opinion, by talking to those brothers and sisters and things like that, it's just, I feel a little different about it, But at the same time, people do need to come in the right way. I will always say that, just like me, if I'm going to go to South Africa or any other country, I'm going to come in the right way. So, covering that issue, I've heard that people like to talk down on South Africans, call them lazy, and like they're not lazy, but we know where that laziness term come from. It comes from those white supremacists, right? So we want somebody to dive into those issues as well. I just saw a video. Wang Yao posted a video of a woman on her channel saying there's 2 million illegal Europeans in South Africa. We need to know about that story too. Where are all these illegal Europeans at? How are they getting around? Why aren't they getting kicked out? You know what I'm saying? And where's the same, vitriol for those illegal Europeans? See, that's the type of things that I'm talking about that needs to be covered because, SABC is only going to go one route. I like Newsroom Africa. I've been on there before. They only going to say certain things and do so much. But this is what we do at African Diaspora News Channel. We get those stories and go into those topics that most people don't want to go into. Now, of course, we are a traditional family values company. I'll tell anybody that if you try to bring anything outside of traditional family values or outside what we talk about here, it's just not going to work, or the audience is not going to accept it, right? And that particular position, there's more things going to come along with it, but up front, it'll go up to 30,000 Rand a month. From what I was told, that's a good salary in South Africa. So you may say, well, what can I do to possibly get ahead of that? Because I wanted to do something by April. We're supposed to be there in April 19th through 28th, right, in South Africa. The best thing to do is resumes are great. I don't need to see a bunch of that. I need to see content. What have you done in the past? Are you a journalist in South Africa already? You doing it? You doing it? It don't matter. Even if you're not a journalist and you're just good at putting stuff together, you gotta, you can do this thing, right? Then send me some videos. Let me know what you can do. Put something together. Even if you don't have nothing, put something together. Let's see, because people's potential, I can see it more than just how they put it together. For instance, like Sister Wang Gil, when I first saw her, she's not what she's at today. When I first saw her, just certain things I saw with her, I said, oh, okay, I think she could be good at this, and let me reach out and let me, bring her on, work with her. And, Sister Wang Gil is great. There's been many people that are not, quote unquote, trained journalists, and they do great things, right? So to my South Africans, it's definitely open, but you got to be about the business over here. You can't be half-stepping and anything. You got to talk about the issues. Don't be afraid of it. So if you are interested in that, then just holler at us. You can relate that to jobs@africandiasporanews.org to my South African people to cover that news. You got to live in the country, though. I'm not talking to South African people that left. I'm only talking to people who's there every day. So, with that being said, what? I'm just trying to read what y'all talking about in here. All right. Cool. All right. So how many minutes we got left on here? Okay. I'm trying to see the time. Okay. We've been going a little while. So let's go ahead and get started since I've kind of addressed that. And, okay. I don't know what that was about. All right, so there was a video that I saw came across my desk, and it was of a Dominican woman. And I want to touch on this subject because at one point in time, I would have responded a little different than what I'm going to respond today. And let's go on. We're going to play the video. And let's just take our time to, respond. So what I'll do, I'll play it. And then what I'll do, I'll just kind of play it again and just stop it at certain points. So let's go ahead and cue this up real quick. And let's go ahead and play this and hear exactly what she's going to say. And let's have this conversation.
Reminder that Dominicans are not black. We are not black. And no matter how much black Americans cry about it, we are not black. We will never be black. Yes, I look black, but we are not black. And it's just a reminder to black Americans who are so pathetically forcing Dominicans to label themselves as black. We keep telling them we have our own culture. We know black, papi. They still force it on us. So just a reminder, Dominicans are not black.
All right. So you heard that. So now I'm going to play it. And then I'm going to stop it at certain points and I'll just expound, here and there.
Reminder that Dominicans are not black. We are not black. And no matter how much black Americans cry about it, we are not black. We will never be black.
Okay. She has a point. She has a point that black Americans, we need to leave them alone with that. Stop telling them they're black. They're not black Americans. And what I mean by they're not black American, they don't come from our culture. They don't come from our lineage. They don't have our history, any of that. So technically, they don't have black American culture, right? Now, sure. And this is the part, I guess, people don't know how to talk, I guess. The right way for her to say this would be, I am, of African descent. Maybe in America I'd be called black, but I am not black American. I'm, Dominican. I have a Dominican culture. My heritage goes back to the Dominican Republic. This is my, XYZ. So yes, I'm not black American. I'm culturally Dominican, but racially, yeah, I get it. I'm African descent, etc. Right? That would be the right way to explain it. But I'm not black. I'm Dominican. A lot of people translate that as to, well, I'm rejecting being of African descent, right? But we'll expound on that. But let's continue.
Black, but we are not black. And it's just a reminder to black Americans who are so pathetically forcing Dominicans to label themselves as black.
No black Americans is forcing you to do anything. That's silly because the majority of black Americans not worried about you, ma'am. They're really not worried about you. They're not talking about you. What are you talking about? People on the internet? People on the internet can't force you to do crap. So what are you talking about? But let's continue.
Keep telling them we have our own culture. We know black, papi. They still force it on us. So just a reminder, Dominicans are not black.
Okay, but let me go to a different route with some of that too. It goes back to the last stream we did. People have a hard time with race, nationality, and ethnicity. So she said she's Dominican, right? That's a nationality. But I guess they using their nationality as an ethnic group, which is fine. She can identify what she want to identify with. But in the Dominican Republic, let's talk about the Dominican Republic, people that look like her are at the bottom. So in the Dominican Republic, they ain't got no problem figuring out that you black. Matter of fact, if you don't open your mouth, that white leadership in the Dominican Republic will assume you Haitian and go to grab you up and do something to you until you speak Spanish to them. See, you can't really come here to the United States of America, and some like to think they're better. Some, not all, think they're better than black Americans. But like, you do know we live in an information age, and we do know you are at the bottom in your homeland. Because people that's at the top in your homeland, they're not leaving the Dominican Republic. They're not leaving. They're staying right there in the Dominican Republic and living a great life. You have to understand, if you here in the United States of America, 9 times out of 10, you wasn't at the top 10% of Dominican Republic. You wasn't even the top 20%. You was at the bottom. So your family left from the Dominican Republic and came here. Now, because we clearly see you African descent, you just speak a different language, but you have African descent. So a black person, because we were the people that was always upholding the global black community. Black people go up to you and say, oh, yeah, hey, sister, what's going on? Like, what? Like, hey, yeah, we black sisters and brothers, and I ain't black, I'm Dominican. And so that was a delineation. And see, the issue that a lot of Black Americans are talking about now is, why is it a problem that Black Americans have starting to delineate in a strong delineation movement, but Dominicans for a long time have said, I'm not Black, I'm Dominican, othering themselves from Black Americans. You understand? See, y'all can't say nothing to Black Americans now because y'all have delineated for so long. And when Black Americans start delineating, then now everybody's saying, hey man, what are you talking about? We all Black, we all of African descent. What are you talking about? Why y'all trying to, go over here and do this and do that? See, that same woman also, this is what she'll do. She says, I'm not Black, I'm Dominican. Okay, cool. I respect that. You can identify how you want to identify. Now, this is not put on all Dominican people. It's not. Because you have some Dominican people that I've talked to, that I've been cool with over the years, and they say, man, look, I'm Black. Yeah, I'm Dominican, but I'm Black. Look at my face. Come on now. I'm not talking about those Dominicans. I'm talking about the Dominicans that feel just like how she feel. Yes, culturally, you are Dominican. You're 100% right. You didn't come from this soil. But women like her and men like that talk like that in her culture, we don't want to hear you talking about reparations. Because see, people like her will be trying to worm her way into reparations conversation. If they talking about giving reparations to Black people, that's why we shut that down about it can't be for no doggone race. Because you all of a sudden, real quick, you'll drop that Dominican all day long and say, I'm Black. The slave ship dropped me off over there, so I'm Black. What are you talking about? I speak Spanish, but I'm Black. Well, before you didn't want to be Black, right? But now you're Black? But to a lot of Black folk, let me tell you, for a long time, what y'all have been saying and what it seems like, that's why it frustrated a lot of Black Americans when they hear you say, I'm Dominican, I'm not Black. I got two dogs. I'm gonna talk about one of my dogs. I have a dog that's a beagle, right? Now, I have a beagle and I have a King Charles Spaniel, right? Both of them are dogs. Clearly, they bark, they scratch, sniff, do everything that dogs do, right? But they're two different breeds of dog. Now, if my beagle could talk, and I say, oh yeah, look at the dog over there. And the beagle says, I'm not a dog, I'm a beagle. You're like, what? I'm not a dog, I'm a beagle. You are a dog, I'm looking dead at you. You're a dog. No, I'm not. Stop trying to put dog on me. I'm not a dog, I'm a beagle. We have our own breed and we look a certain way and we do this and we do that. I'm not like that King Charles Spaniel over there. I'm different. So I'm a beagle. I'm like, well, both of y'all are dogs though. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it kind of, I know that's a simplistic answer, an example, but that's what it sounds like to anybody with common sense. We're looking at you. We see the African descent Black folk in you. We looking dead at you until you open your doggone mouth, right? You saying you're not Black, but clearly you are, or African descent. We're looking at you, but you're saying you're not. You're Dominican. But like I said, that's why a lot of people got frustrated because you're looking at a Black woman talking to you but saying she's not Black. Like, okay, well, are you white? So, but at this stage in the game, we're not worried about that no more. We actually cool with you doing that. Please continue to say you're not Black, you're Dominican. Please continue to say that because anybody, and I'm telling Black folks this, anybody that reject, their heritage or whatever they're supposed to be, if they reject it, write that down, remember that person, and let them go on. Well, like I said, we don't want to see you in the Juneteenth parade. We don't want to see you talking about a Juneteenth scholarship or grant. We don't want to hear you talking about nothing about no Black history programs or any scholarship for Black history, Black women, any funding for Black women. We don't want to hear or see you, okay? Because remember, you're Dominican, so you need to go over there and get your Dominican grants and Dominican scholarships and anything for Dominicans, because black people can't get, black Americans in particular, can't get anything that belongs to Dominicans, right? So you need to go do that, because see, one thing I don't like is when you other yourself, you delineate, but then you want to jump into black American resources. That's my thing. You want to go to an HBCU and say you're black at an HBCU, but I'm like, well, okay, why didn't you go a place for more so your culture? And I'm only talking about the people who think like that. I'm not talking about all Dominicans, because I don't need you writing me and crying in an email. I don't need that. But that's something we have to address. This is why, like I said, delineation took off. Delineation took off because of this. It's not people on the continent that started it. It's not that people in the Caribbean themselves started it, or people in Latin America started it. It is the immigrants that came here that were doing that for a long time. And so now black Americans say, okay, we're doing this thing. We're focusing on reparations. We're focusing on different things for our community, and people are crying foul about that. And I disagree. Now, I was told in an interview recently I did with Brother Linton, from I Need to Know TV. Shout out to that brother. He dropped one of the videos for the interview I did with him. Now, he's a Jamaican brother. Like I said, that's my brother right there. Like I said, hey, listen, I love all black people globally. Love them all. If you're a brother or sister, I'm gonna rock with you. I'm even gonna defend you, right? If you're on some family business, but now if you acting like I'm not you, I'm better than you, like, well, forget you then. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to we all come from different places. We do. And we all should work together. No matter where we come from, we should work together. And I'm not against working together. I will work with black people globally. I'm going to. Because one thing I've learned over the years, you rock with the people that rock with you, and you stay away from the people that don't. I don't care where they come from. I don't care if they're a black American like me and my lineage and heritage. I don't care if they're a distant cousin. I don't care if it's the folks, Latinos, Asians, Arabs, whoever. If you don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. And if you mess with me, I mess with you. It's just bottom line. Because I don't have time to waste with nobody. Definitely not this stage in the game. I don't have time to waste. So don't get upset when you hear them say, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. Don't get upset no more. I think that's a waste of time to get upset. People have a right to identify how they want to identify. And we just need to focus on what we need to focus on. It's just that simple. Because we can't focus on trying to convince somebody that clearly is not of our heritage, our lineage. We can't focus on somebody that don't even know how to articulate what they're trying to say. Yes, Dominican culture, African origin, African heritage, black heritage, whatever you want to say. If they can't articulate that at this stage in the game, in the age of knowledge, we don't need to be wasting our time trying to convince them. It's just like, well, I tell black people, don't waste your time teaching the folks anything. If they want to learn something about their culture, then they need to go. There's many books that have been written, many speeches that have been spoken. They can go look at it on YouTube, get books on Audible or whatever they want to do. We don't have time to be teaching people no more. It's enough we have to take our time to unravel the mess within black America that's been put into their head by the folks. That's one of the most things that is frustrating. We got to unravel like that block that's in a lot of our heads. So the last thing we're going to have to worry about is some woman saying that she ain't black, she Dominican. That's the last thing we need to worry about. Seriously. Because sometimes I say that we waste time on side quests. You know what I'm saying? We instead of focusing on the main thing, we over here focusing on little small things. And that's distractions. If black Americans, like I say, hear her say that, they saw her on video, and then they just leave her alone. They shun her. Like, don't say much to her, walk on, because clearly, you got an issue with black Americans, and that's fine. We just need to leave you alone. She get any business or whatever she got, we don't support her. If she wants to come around us talking about she want a job, like, nah, we good. Cause you're discriminatory. Because you have an issue with Black Americans, so go talk to your people about a job. Only when they act like that. I'm not saying the other time. I'm just saying, look, we can't allow disrespect like that. Not when we got you in 4K. We can't do that. So go holler at your community and let them hire you. Don't come over here with that. Because we don't need we want people we'll hire people that's gonna work and that's gonna love the community, love being part of the global family. We good with that. But some of you anti-Black, anti-whatever, stay over there with that mess. Stay over there. We don't need that. Okay, I see Vic Laura says, my mother is Dominican and my father African American. He said, I know how deep-rooted their hatred can be. They even crap on my mom. He said, Morena this, Morena that. He said, while snickering. I've isolated myself a lot. Okay. I remember there was a video I covered of this Dominican, I say she a sister because she's recognized she's Black and everything, so I'm going to say she's a Dominican sister. Some are not. She brought to her mother a doll. It was a Black doll. And she gave her little girl a Black doll that looks just like her. The Dominican mother, who's just as dark as me, said, no, this doll, and gave the little girl a white doll. And kept pushing away the Black doll that looked no different than her daughter, or her granddaughter, and kept giving them the white. Like I say, listen, we don't have that kind of time to be dealing with people's trauma like that. Black America, we don't have that kind of time. We see it like, ooh, that's messed up. And then we need to keep on moving and doing other things. They need some therapy. Seriously. If you shun a doll away from your grandchild because the doll isn't white, like, do you look in the mirror? Do you have revitiligo? Like Uncle Ruckus, do you have revitiligo? To me, that's the most sickening thing of colonization and slavery is that right there. Now, if you know history, the Spanish, they treated their slaves a little different. See, these Europeans that came over here, they clearly let you know, you ain't one of us. Get your behind over there. I don't care how many kids I done had with Bessie Mae over there. None of them kids mine. They Black. They are not no white. Well, see, the Spanish was a little different. They kind of treated them, they say, oh, they Spanish like us. And so they adopted that. I'm Spanish. And I'm like, and you look at them like, no, you's a Black person or African descent person that speaks Spanish. That's it. No, I'm Spanish. No, go over there to Spain. Let me tell you something. Even Mexicans, Colombians, any of them people like that, let them go to Spain. Every last one of them have said that them white folks in Spain, let them know real quick, you are not Spanish, you are not one of us. And they look down on them. They look down on them. That's their wake-up call. Tell them to go to Spain and see how they're going to be received. Especially you so-called Dominican, right? Go over there to Spain, since you're Spanish. Them people, yeah, exactly. Them Europeans laugh at the Dominican. They don't like Mexicans. They don't like none of them. Only ones they want is the one that look like them. Nobody with no color to them. So if they treating the Mexicans like that, and the Colombians and anybody else that come over there, then imagine the Black ones, the Black Mexicans and the Black Dominicans and all them. And you go your behind over there. They gonna let you know real quick what you are. See, you can't tell them I ain't black, I'm Dominican. Go tell them that. Go tell them that. See, one thing I always say, and what I love about the folks, they gonna always get you told real quick if you confused. They gonna let you know. Oh, they gonna let you know. So go over there to Spain. Hey, the dude that was talking, tell your family members to take a trip to Spain. They'll find out real quick how Spanish they are. Exactly. It kick they behind right on out of there. Them white Spaniards not gonna play with y'all. They're gonna be staring at y'all like, oh God, what they doing here? And then when you speak Spanish, they're gonna talk about you because they're gonna say your Spanish is horrible. It's not the right Spanish. Oh, they're gonna have all kind of things to say about y'all when you go over there. I've talked to so many people that have been over there. I have no desire to be in Spain personally, but I've talked to so many people that have been. Dominicans, Mexicans, all, different Latinos, and they said they are very racist over there. Even Black Americans been over there and say they hella racist in Spain. He say jet black Dominicans say go to Europe talking about I'm white. He say how they get yeah man, like I said, please go to Spain. If you are so Spanish, young lady, you say you Dominican, you not black, please go to Spain. I would love to be a fly on the wall to watch how them people treat you. And go tell them you ain't black. Oh boy, I don't want to do nothing but just film it and see them people reaction to you. Oh, I would love it. Because one thing I love about them folks will go get you black folks told. Especially the ones that don't think they black. Oh, I love it. It'll hurt their feelings real bad. Then they'll come back over here probably mad at us for some reason. Like, what you mad at us? We told you. We tried to tell you. But you thought you so brand new, right? Then, what's that leader they had over there in Dominican Republic? Trujillo? This dude did a whole massacre on Haitians over there. I wouldn't be sitting up there proud of that place at all. This dude massacred, look him up. He massacred Haitian people, all black people. What's so different about them? Look, you speak Spanish, you better than those Haitians? You no different than they are. You remember Sister Demetria, she got jammed up in Dominican Republic. She talked about it. They thought she was Haitian. This other brother I saw, what's that brother in here? Kenyan brother, YouTuber. He was over there in Dominican Republic. He got jammed up. Like you act like your homeland is a great utopia for the black Dominicans. No, it's not. So, yeah, see, when them people come to you, getting jazzy at the mouth, all you got to do is remind them, just educate yourself a little bit on some of these places. Especially if you coming over here as a person of African descent, black, whatever. Don't you dare come over here getting brand new, because I'm one of them brothers. I tell you, hey, wait a minute, hold on. I know about where you come from now. Come on. Don't come over here acting like you brand new all of a sudden. I know exactly why you came here, sis. Okay, I'm not your brother. Fine. No problem. But why them white Dominicans over there got you at the bottom? There's a lot of black folks in that country. Why aren't you at the top? Where's a black Dominican president? I'm just saying. Let's call it what it is. People go over there to, what's that place? Sosua. And they going over there, because they selling themselves over there. And there's a lot of black ones doing it. But you don't talk about that. And they do it because they don't have no economic opportunities, because the white Dominicans got that, not the black ones. So your best bet to get out of that is to come over here to America. Then you come over here to America, because we made a way for you as Black Americans. We did that. You didn't do it. We did it. Then you come over here, Black America trying to welcome you in, and then the first thing you say, I ain't Black, I'm Dominican. That's why Black Americans are delineating, because a lot of you have been ungrateful. Yes, I'm using the term ungrateful. Because when you do something nice for me, or you make a way for me, the first thing I'm going to say to you is, man, you know what? Man, I appreciate what y'all did, man. Like, I appreciate it because, man, I brought my family good. It's like this. If somebody, this example, if somebody make a way for me to get let's say citizenship, right? In South Africa, use that country. And they get it all taken care of. All my family, they did something, made me get a citizenship, everybody in my family. Then the first thing I'm gonna do when I get there is say, you know what? I appreciate you, so-and-so. Man, it wouldn't been for you. You made this situation go quick. It was easy. We wouldn't be here if it wouldn't been for you. Man, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm always gonna be thankful for you for getting me in. What's wrong with saying that? And say, hey, man, you need anything from me, bro? Man, holler at me, man, because I appreciate what you did for me. What's wrong with that? That's called just being thankful for one. Two, being loyal to somebody. If somebody get me in on something, I'm going to stay loyal to you until you do something I can't, we'll have to break that tie. But I just believe in loyalty, bro. I believe in being loyal and thankful to people that put me on or get me on somewhere. It don't take much for that. But no, you want to come over here and you act like the folks got you in. They didn't want your behind here. They still don't want you here. They don't. And then folks get rid of that immigration bill from the 60s. You better believe you're not coming here. Now, I'll be honest with you, a lot of white folks don't want to come here either. They don't want to. Because in our ghetto country, yes, America is ghetto. In our ghetto country, we don't have free health care. In a lot of European countries, they got free health care. Why would you come over here? I remember when Trump said he wanted more people from Norway to come here. They're like, why you want to come there? We got free health care. Y'all ain't got that. I mean, yeah, I agree with Norwegians. Why would you leave? You get free help. You get freaking holiday, 6 weeks off. You get all, man, please. I'm with them. I wouldn't come over here either. And a lot of countries got free health care. Hell, I think South Africa got free health care. But we run around here, don't have free health care because the folks don't want black folks to get free health care. That's why they don't want it. So they rather not have health care, get sick and die, excuse me, before me and you have an opportunity for free health care. That's how committed they are to racism. No, in some ways it's ghetto. No. In some ways America's ghetto, man. Think about it. We're supposed to be a so-called first world country, but we got homeless people all in the streets in major cities. I mean, think about it. I tell people this, the way I look at America now, we actually about second, third world with a first world dressing. Like we label ourselves first world, but why people can't get a home? Why? At least for sure in the African continent, if you got a house, it's your house. You ain't paying property taxes even though you bought the freaking house. In America, you buy a house, you're paying property taxes on that house until you get to what? In your elderly? If you buy a house in one of those countries, it's your house. We shouldn't be doing that. We got enough money to send everybody to college for free. We got enough money to, help people pay for skilled trades so we can do things. And we got money for all that, but they don't want to spend it. Our infrastructure is not, they supposedly signed the infrastructure bill, but where's all the infrastructure work being going on? There could be a lot of jobs for people, right? There's so many things I could talk about why I say that. Our food is horrible. Everybody that leaves the country, go to other places, then come back to America, the first thing they say, they feel bloated and their stomach hurt. Why? Because they put so much chemical in our food. How is it that across the sea, they don't even allow them chemical? Trust me, you could eat all freaking day and still don't be gaining weight like that. If you just eat normal, I'm not talking about being a glutton, but I'm talking about just eating normal, walking, doing different things. Sometimes you start losing weight and not even trying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yours truly, you're right. America capitalizes on everything and everyone. You're right. They capitalize on us let's create food cheaper where we won't spend much, even though it's gonna make people sick. The government is in line with it because the FDA can shut all that down tomorrow. Do you know that? Our food is horrible because the FDA is in line with them. See, our government's supposed to be the last line of defense with the food and saying, no, you're not going to put that in food. Nope, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. They don't care. So they capitalize on you eating so much where now you're feeding the medical industry. The medical industry with the pharmaceutical industry, you know what I'm saying? They're feeding each other. We make them so sick with the food. We give them to the big pharma and the medical industry. We're not curing them of anything. You know, a doctor can't promise you to cure you of anything. They can never tell you, we're going to cure you of this. We're going to cure you of that. They can't make those promises legally. They give you medication to treat symptoms, but it doesn't go away. So you be a forever customer of the big pharma. Let's say you had high blood pressure, right? With a lot of people, if you just lose the weight, your high blood pressure go away. Instead of the doctor being on your butt about losing the weight, they rather just give you a pill for the rest of your freaking life. Even though it's been proven that if you even just lose 10 pounds, you go down certain percentage points. If you stop eating all that salt in your diet, right? Eating fried food and all of that, it starts reducing your percentage points with high blood pressure. If you make sure to exercise 4 to 5 times a week, that helps you drop points on your high blood pressure. Instead of telling you to do all that, right? No, they're going to give you a freaking pill that doesn't cure you. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's why they didn't like Dr. Sebi, because Dr. Sebi was actually curing diseases. Anytime you get a doctor, it don't matter where they come from, doctors, that's holistic doctors, that's actually been curing people, notice something happened to them. See, you talking about, oh, well, why they don't have a cure to cancer? Curing cancer gonna make people lose a lot of money. Think about that. You know how much money they make on cancer treatments? Versus, oh, we come up with a cure, here's a cure. Now people don't have that no more. Oh yeah. About Dr. Sebi, oh yeah, I believe that 100%. Oh yeah, because if you remember the story, he had got off the plane and he had just came back, I think, from LA or something. They say he had about $20,000 because, you know, everything he did was in cash, right? So they put him in jail for 2 weeks. Nothing was wrong with Dr. Sebi. He basically was forced to eat that food in jail. We don't know what they put in his food, or if that food just messed his body up because he's used to eating so clean. Because, you know, it's kind of like when you eat clean for a while, then you try to go eat dirty, which I mean like dirty, I mean just that normal American food. You know how you start feeling sick and all of that? Well, you remember he stayed in jail 2 weeks and then they let him out? And then it wasn't long after that the man died? I believe it's the food. Because that man, he was an elder and he didn't look old like that at all. The man got around real good. You know, everybody was going down there to Honduras to like, man, I got an issue. I'm going to see Dr. Sebi. And it was coming back, getting cured of whatever disease they had going down there with Dr. Sebi. And he believed in the roots and all of that sort of thing. You know, there was all kind of roots out there. Like, I remember I was taking for a time melatonin at night to go to sleep because it's like sometimes I'll be so amped up with things in my mind. Sometimes it take me a while to you know, process down. I just do. And so I was taking some melatonin. I said, well, melatonin. But, with time, that melatonin, it started messing like, I wake up with headaches. I'm like, why am I waking up with headaches? Then one time I had, checked my blood pressure. And my blood pressure was up. I was like, why is that my blood pressure's up? Then I did some research, and they said that melatonin can raise your blood pressure. So I said, okay, I don't even want the melatonin. Give me something. Let me find a herb, and I'm not talking about the one y'all talking about. I said, but let me do some research, some herbal. So I did some research, and I found valerian root. Valerian root does the exact same thing as melatonin. Actually, I like valerian root a lot better. So I before we go to bed or whatever, I take valerian root, and I'm like, oh man, I slept so good on that valerian root. And it's a natural herb that comes out of the ground that God put here. You know what I'm saying? It's so many different herbs that we can use, and our people should be, and them home remedy cures. Let me tell you about that real quick. You say elderberry is better. Well, I've taken elderberry. It never made me sleepy. I've always taken it for immune system purposes. I guess maybe y'all talking about that. But I don't know what y'all talking about. I am taking sea moss. No, I don't know how y'all was taking the valerian root, but it's a certain amount you take a day. I don't know what y'all doing with it, but it's very great. My aunt the other day told me that my uncle, when he was a kid, we were discussing we need to get back to our medicine and how we do things. My uncle had asthma, and she said, "You know what your grandmother did?" I said, "What'd she do?" He said she took a piece of his hair. She cut a piece of his hair out, took him to the tree, and had him stand against the tree, and about inch or so, inch, a foot or something like that above it, and she nailed his hair into the tree. And she said within 1 year, his asthma was gone. I say, what? He said, yeah. Oh, yeah. He ain't had asthma ever since. He says that tree, because I say, well, how does that work? He said, as the tree grow, it's supposed to take the asthma away. So I did my research on that. I said, well, let me research what that is. And sure enough, people used to do that. If a kid had asthma or a person had asthma on a growing tree, you sit there, you cut a piece of their hair, you nail it into the tree, not where it can be exposed, you nail it into the tree, and as it grows, it takes away the asthma. I'm like, wow. I say, okay. I say, because we were discussing, I say, these people, so-called medicine, they don't do nothing for a lot of us. It really don't. They say we need to get back to, like I say, our herbal treatments. They use roots. They did all kind of things, for our people. And that we left all of that, or a lot of them forced us away from it and accepted their so-called medicine where they can just make a bunch of money off of it. And they're not really curing anybody. So, with that being said, you say celery juice. Yeah, I can't fool no celery juice. No. Unless that's in some sort of, I guess if you're juicing or whatever. But, definitely appreciate everyone, joining us on the stream. We greatly appreciate it. If you have not downloaded the African Diaspora News Channel app, make sure you do that. We greatly appreciate the people that have came over to the African Diaspora News Channel app. That's the one-stop shop for everything that we're doing. You ain't got to go searching all those different channels that we have, like on YouTube. You can go right there, see everything right there. We're starting to empty the vault, put different things up. In the interviews we do, even on other platforms, everything will be right there on the app. So it's just a one-stop shop for everything. We got a lot of good things coming to the app this year. You can get a monthly membership, a quarterly, or yearly membership. Our goal is to try to get 10,000 members in 2024. We have a lot of people here, but if we can get 10,000, oh boy, we'll be right where we need to be. We need 10,000 members on our app. That way we can truly be, self-sufficient. Because remember, these platforms, they can take your channels, they can take your monetization, which is like taking your channels, and it's not a. Sometimes you could get it back, sometimes you can't. Right. So we don't need to be just fighting with that. These things are up and down on these platforms. Sometimes you say, "Oh, they censoring us," or they not saying it's their platform. They do what they want. That's why we can't be talking about what the folks doing 24/7, but don't think at times the folks say, "Okay, let me turn that speech down a little bit because I don't like it." They can do that. I didn't know you posted this video. Why I didn't get a notification? Because they can do that. But on the African Diaspora News Channel app is what we own and what we control. Okay. So it's better to be over there. You don't have to worry about anything. Like I said, we're gonna do another update to the app itself, so it's gonna be much better in this year. So we'll be discussing all that stuff behind the scenes. Make sure also that if you have not signed up to go to South Africa with us in April 19th through the 28th, make sure you sign up to go. I think it's about the last time I heard 5 spots left. Go, you can be your first time. You go with people from the channel, and it'll be great. It'll be great. So please sign up. I mean, you got time. You can make a deposit and pay payments. It's going to be a good thing. Trust me. I tell everybody, you need to go to the African continent at least once, and definitely go to South Africa, because the brothers and sisters in South Africa, like I said, they show us a lot of love, and I love those brothers and sisters in South Africa. So, you definitely need to go. So if you have not signed up, please sign up. But thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next one.